Hey, it's me, Joe, from the PSO Tube. It's been a while. It's been actually a very long time since I have done anything on this channel. And this may be the last time that I do anything on this channel. I probably should have came out with like a bit of an apology video before, but life has just gotten crazy. I got married since my last video, you know, the house situation. It's just been very busy. I work full-time now. I'm a lead in my own department at work. It is just truthfully really difficult to keep up with this channel. And honestly, I'm not even going to say it's a lack of time. I'll be 100% transparent with all of you. It's just lack of passion for this. I made this channel to kind of boost hype for Phantasy Star Online 2 to come to the West, and that's what I have done, and I feel like I've done that successfully. And now that Phantasy Star Online 2 has come out, it was a real big question of where do I go from there? And I thought maybe I can do tips and tricks and things like that for New Genesis and PSO2. But truthfully, there's already channels out there that do it way better and way more consistent than I ever could. So I just had no ideas or plans for this channel, and I thought it would be better for me to focus on my personal channel. I really just wanted to get that out of the way very quickly, just because I know some of you who follow this channel for a while, you probably have that question on why it's been there's been no content, and that's truthfully why. If you are still subscribed to me, don't expect new content after this. Maybe every now and then I'll do something, we'll see, but honestly, I have my own personal channel and Kick that I do things on, also related to Phantasy Star as well here and there, but mostly it is just my content that I want to produce. And unfortunately, with the direction that New Genesis has taken, Phantasy Star content, truthfully, isn't content that I want to produce anymore. I still do. I still love Phantasy Star, but New Genesis took a direction that I don't 100% agree with. Maybe that's a video I'll do one day, but that's just essentially me being very truthful for you guys. I love New Genesis to a degree. I am excited to get back on now that they raised the level cap and play. But all in all, for me personally, New Genesis is a big disappointment for me. That's it. That's all I want to say on that. But I want to get into what is very important. I'm sorry it took me 3 minutes to get up to this point, but I did want to cover that. So I have a PSO Tube email that I do not monitor often, obviously. I didn't have it on my phone. I get push notifications. And I remember seeing that I got an email on this email, but I never checked it. And I remember, hey, let me go look at that. It's actually kind of interesting. And it's more than likely bogus. But I guess we'll know if it's bogus if, you know, in a couple of days. So what is this email? I'm going to read this email out to you. I'm sorry if I stumble a little bit here and there. The grammar, honestly, isn't great. But just in the case that it is legit and it is real, maybe I can once again provide some excitement for what's to come. Again, this is an inactive channel, so I don't know why the person who sent this sent it to my personal email. But they did. Whether it's true, whether it's fake, who knows? I remember I earlier posted the Phantasy Star Online leak, I guess, on the Xbox One, and that turned out to be true. So maybe this will turn out to be true as well. So let's jump into it. Got an email. I'm not going to say the email address. I don't want to give out the person's name, which is in this email. So I apologize for that, but just in case this person does get in trouble or what have you, I'm not going to be saying the name. Okay, so the email goes as follows. Hello. There is some interesting information about Phantasy Star. I don't want to give away too much information, but know I am closely affiliated with Sega. Internally, Sega has transitioned into something called the Power Surge Initiative. As announced earlier last year, we have a team dedicated to bringing old titles back to life with a modern twist. More titles will be announced in the future. Just to be clear, not even half the titles affected by the Power Surge Initiative have been announced. We plan to announce more titles this summer, but are currently considering which titles to announce. I want to add some credibility to what I'm about to tell you, so be sure to tune into the Xbox Games Showcase on June 9th. A major announcement is scheduled for Phantasy Star New Genesis. Next is the Power Surge information. Part of this effort is to bring classic fans back to the Phantasy Star series. Remasters of both Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1 through 3 and Phantasy Star Universe are currently in production on the same engine used in Phantasy Star Online 2 and New Genesis. Phantasy Star Online has been in development for over a year, and Phantasy Star Universe is expected to begin development soon. The team aims to release Phantasy Star Online Remastered in the final quarter of 2026, followed by Phantasy Star Universe in 2027. The idea is to consolidate all Phantasy Star titles into one hub under the same engine. The overall title will change from New Genesis. but the team name has not yet been decided. Not present. Not sure what that means, but again, weird grammar. I have heard Phantasy Star Generations mentioned, but again, it's not final. The team's goal is to modernize these titles while keeping the core games intact. Your avatar will be the same in all games, and transition between the games will be similar to transitions between New Genesis and PSO2. I assume that means... I'll try and break all these down after I finish reading all this. At this point, the idea is to launch these titles with all previous content included. It's unclear whether there will be additional content, but we're all optimistic. How successful these remasters end up being will determine the support they receive. And that's why I've reached out to you and others to raise awareness of what's to come. Please pay attention to it. Take care. I actually didn't notice that last part where he said 2 others. So maybe he did email to other people. I personally, I don't see anyone else CC'd on this email, so I assumed it was just me, but it would make sense if he sent this to other content creators. But this was sent over to me a couple of weeks ago, May 20th, so I'm wondering if there were other content creators who either received it and went to their spam, or maybe they thought this was bogus and they didn't want to do any coverage on it. Very interesting, but... so let's go ahead. I just kind of want to brush through. So he wanted to add some credibility. I assume it's a he. Wanted to add some credibility to this, and they told us, and he said to tune in to the Xbox Game Showcase on June 9th. There is a showcase on June 9th. Will there be an announcement for Phantasy Star New Genesis? Maybe. Honestly, there's a good chance because New Genesis itself was announced at a Microsoft showcase. So there is always a chance. So I guess if we do see a huge announcement about this, that's either going to prove that this guy is legit, or it could just be a coincidence. Honestly, it's hard to say, but we'll keep our eyes out regardless, and we'll see what happens. The whole Power Surge initiative, I think we've all been aware of that for a while. They announced Jet Set Radio and a couple of other games. So to see Phantasy Star Online included in that, I remember reading a rumor about that in a while ago that Phantasy Star Online was also part of that. I didn't hear anything about PSU at the time, but to hear that PSU is part of that as well is very interesting. And I love Phantasy Star Universe. That's my favorite Phantasy Star. So to see that, that's very exciting as well. I'd even be okay if it is just a storyline, because I did love the whole Ethan Waver storyline. But we'll see. We'll see. I just got my wife into Clementine, and we've been playing the hell out of that, but I would love to see a modernized Phantasy Star Universe. Hopefully they do keep the core gameplay intact. That's kind of like what it seemed like he was saying, to keep the core games. I don't want to be able to jump, keep the slow-paced combat and all that. Basically just make it as different from New Genesis as possible. Otherwise, I feel like there'd be no point. You want to make these games play unique and how they used to play. Otherwise, again, there'd be no point of remastering these games. The cool thing that I absolutely love is to consolidate all the Phantasy Star titles into one hub. It would be cool if when you log in, you have the option to play New Genesis, PSO2, Phantasy Star Universe, or Phantasy Star Online. I think that's a really cool idea, and the fact that if your avatar is the same across all games, that's huge. That's a huge deal. And I feel like that's going to bring a lot of people, including myself, back into the game. Not to say that I still don't play Phantasy Star, I just don't play it as much as I used to. And don't get me wrong, Clementine is absolutely 100% fantastic. If you love Phantasy Star Universe, Clementine is a huge, huge deal, and it's perfect. But for some people, like my brother, like my wife, and also kind of like me, if it's not an official server, there's not a lot of motivation to get into that. And so if you're not into private servers, like a lot of people are, I can understand why you're not interested in playing Clementine. So an official return of the Phantasy Star Universe servers would be very welcome, very cool, and I'd be on board. So yeah, it would be cool to be able to play Phantasy Star New Genesis and then jump into Phantasy Star Universe. And that begs the question, if they do this, are they as the post even implies, you're gonna, they might start releasing new content for it as well. I would imagine all the Japanese content, because I know the US didn't get all the content that the Japanese servers got. So it'd be cool to see if it would release with all the Japanese content. I would imagine it would. All in all, I think this is really cool. Again, we don't know how legit this is. It more than likely is just bogus and not true and all that. But if there is a big announcement during the Microsoft showcase, I might look a little deeper into this and try and see what exactly is gonna happen. I don't know. More than likely, the Xbox showcase is gonna happen. No Phantasy Star content. If that's the case, I'm sorry for wasting your time with this video, but I just figured maybe just throw some seeds out there. Let's try and get a little bit of excitement going on, especially with classic servers being very wanted, I guess, for lack of a better term, and requested. I feel like more now than ever would be a perfect time to announce the classic servers for Clementine, or Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Online. It would be really cool. We'll see. I don't know. Play it by ear. Watch the Xbox showcase, and hopefully we get some cool stuff, I guess. That's it. Thank you all for watching. If you're interested, maybe I'll do a video with why I am so disappointed with New Genesis. I'm not that disappointed. It's hard to say. That's why I need to make my own video on it, because, like, I don't even think anyone cares. But, like, it's just, there's so much missing in New Genesis. The world isn't, it just doesn't feel alive. I don't know. It's New Genesis, it's just missing that Phantasy Star touch. It doesn't feel like I'm playing Phantasy Star when I play New Genesis, I guess. That's it. I don't know. Thank you all for watching. Maybe I'll come out with that video in the future if you guys are interested. We'll see. But hey, I love you all. Thanks. I may not do another video on this channel, but if you are interested in my stuff, I do have that personal channel, Joseph Craft. I have that in the link below. Recently I've been doing like analog horror stuff, things like that. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And peace out. Bye guys.